Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about video games and movies. Specifically, movies turned into video games turned into movies. I got it backwards. It's dyslexia or something, I don't know. Anyway, before I get into it, please subscribe to this channel and ring that bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. Also, hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and be sure to share with your friends. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. First of all, actually, before I get into it, know that I don't script these videos. I am not scripted at all. It's not something I like doing. I want to maintain some level of originality to a degree, but there's a lot of people out there who don't do scripted content, and that's great. I just want to make sure I do that too. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into that, as I was going to say. So recently I've been looking at a lot of the videos, or a lot of trailers, and even I've recently watched a few movies again of different video games turned into movies. You have Super Mario that's coming out. I saw the trailer. It's a great movie from what I can tell. It looks like it's going to be good. Obviously, I can't say anything about it because it's not out yet, and I want to see it. I really want to see it. Anyway, there's a lot of movies that have been coming out recently that have actually been showing signs that the video game movies could actually be turning good now, like actually be really entertaining. I mean, you got movies that were not very good to begin with, like Prince of Persia. That movie had some hope, but it wasn't something that I enjoyed because of the fact that, for one, there were no actual Persians in this movie, but even then, the accents were a bit off, and then the writing of the story was it was simple, kind of basic, and then you had Ben Kingsley kind of playing a very typical villain role, and it was kind of, what I liked about it was that it was lighthearted, I will say that, and I did like the scenery. The scenery was funny, and a lot of the side characters, like you know, the scene of have I not told you of the Umbaka?
Have I told you about the Umbaka?
It's been a while since I've watched that one, but you get the idea. Whenever I was watching it, I thought it was funny. There were moments that were good, and then you have certain movies like Detective Pikachu. Now, I've never been a big fan of Pokemon. It wasn't something that I enjoyed. In fact, I never liked the idea of pocket monsters. It's not something that I like to see in general. But what I liked about it was that the movie was entertaining. Like, whether you like Pokemon or not, it was funny to watch. It was enjoyable. You have Ryan Reynolds playing basically the detective Pikachu, but in reality, it's revealed that he's in fact his consciousness. His consciousness is embedded in Pikachu, and in reality, like, they are merged together. And yet, he's not actually, Pikachu's not dead or anything. It's just that they remove his brain, or his essence gets put back in his body at the end of the movie, and that reveal at the end was perfect. Honestly, it was one of the more entertaining movies that I'd seen when it comes to video games turned into movies. And then you have a look back at the old Super Mario movie with, you know, the really old one. It wasn't the best. It wasn't, obviously, it had its issues. But, you know, there's times where I find it entertaining just for nostalgia's sake. It's just kind of funny to watch, and it's definitely got some moments in it that I found entertaining. I enjoyed the jet boots, the rocket boots, or whatever you want to call them. I forgot what they're called because it's been that long since I've watched it. But generally, it's funny. It's just entertaining. But it's not the best, obviously. And then you have another movie that recently came out. You have the Sonic the Hedgehog movie and Sonic 2, the second movie. Both of them were great. I mean, honestly, they were some of the most entertaining movies I'd seen in a while. With all the movies being very, I don't know, very propagandist, I guess, or they have some kind of message behind it that is not something that most people agree with. This movie was just a movie. It was funny. It was a movie about family. It was a movie that had to do with speed and family and, you know, saving the day. Anyway, it was just kind of, it's just fun to see that they're actually able to produce movies based on video games that are fun. Unlike some other movies I've seen, like the Assassin's Creed movie that they had made recently, I was shocked at how poorly that did. I mean, the casting alone wasn't the greatest choice, and the actor is great. It's just that I just don't feel like for a role like Ezio Auditore, it just doesn't seem. I might have said that name incorrectly, but I tried to say the name. I don't speak Italian, and I tried anyway. That movie, it just didn't capture the game at all. It's like, for one, I mean, even Prince of Persia captured the essence of Assassin's Creed better than Assassin's Creed, and it wasn't meant to be Assassin's Creed. It was supposed Prince of Persia was Prince of Persia. That's what it was. And honestly, I would enjoy if they made a new Prince of Persia movie, or even better, a new Prince of Persia video game. But in today's climate, it might not be the best option with the way a lot of video games are going. Many of the games I've seen today seem they're trying to go the easy way with, instead of writing a very thorough story, they're just trying to release game after game after game after game. And so I'm hoping that the next person to make like a Prince of Persia game reboot or a Prince of Persia movie, it'd be great if they actually knew what they were doing, had a good story, and just simply had fun with it. Bring in people who want to honor the source material. People who can write their own stories, sure, but honor the source material as well. Basically stick to that heart of the story. Now, when it comes to the new movies that are coming out, like the Super Mario movie, and from what I heard, it'd be interesting. I think they're making another Sonic movie, another Sonic the Hedgehog movie. From what I saw in the final part of the Sonic the Hedgehog 2, you have the very clear introduction of Shadow. It was like, oh, that was just perfect. It was like one of the best scenes that I've seen, I mean, in forever. I mean, wow. Now I could be overselling it, but you know, growing up, it was one of my favorites. I played Sonic video games every time I could, every time I had the chance. If I wasn't in school or whatever I was doing, I played Sonic. It was, aside from, you know, Spider-Man, and you know, there are other games too, like Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I pretty much played every version of that game that you could imagine. I can't remember all the titles, but I played all of them. Whether it was on PS2, PS3, whether it was on, like, no matter what game it was, I played it. And whether it was something I kept or something, you know. I mean, there are other video games that are based on movies too. By the way, there's the Incredible Hulk video game based off of the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk. That game is one of my favorites as well. I played it with my sister. Me and her would take turns on that one. She loves that game. It's one of her favorites. I mean, it was. I wish I had a new PS3 because my old one kind of broke down. But one day I'll get another one whenever I have time to pick one up. One that's, you know, not so run down. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna get into at this point in time. I clearly went on a little rant. If you get what I'm trying to say, is I hope they make new movies turned into new movies based off video games. But if they do, I hope that they do them well. And if not, if they're not going to honor the source material, then make something original. Do something original. That's all I want to see. Some originality out there. Come on, be inspired. Do something new. I know that you can. I know many people can. Hire some people who know how to create. People who have ideas. Anyway, that's all I'm going to get into for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe to this channel and ring that bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. Also, be sure to share this channel with your friends. Share these videos with your friends if you can. And hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Well, that's all I'm going to say for now. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time.